Hi.
Hi.
You look cute in my glasses.
Did you want to order a pizza?
No, but maybe we can meet after school and hang out.
Under the bleachers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, we're talking today, and we actually have an audience member. You can't see her, but she's over there, and she's not going to say a word.
You just ruined the whole... Is it a guy or a girl?
Okay, that's like 50% of the population.
I know that you...
That could be a lot of people.
That's the problem.
But...
we have a person.
We have a person. All right, so we're talking about... I really want to say that I think that God has put this on my heart this week, and I still would like to do a little more research on this, but I've talked to a lot of people that feel they are always to blame. Their spouse, and it could be, I tend to talk to more women, obviously, but I know that this goes both ways, that the husband or the wife feels that they are always to blame, they can't do anything right, they walk in the room, they're wearing the wrong shoes, they did the dinner wrong.
I can never clean the dishes right.
Something.
Or the kitchen,
everything,
or the floor.
Nothing is right.
Or our bedroom, or make the bed.
Wait, are you talking about you? This is not... You do a lot of things that are right. You do a lot of things that are right. But that's a hard place to live. If you feel that everything you do is wrong. You feel blamed for everything. And I've actually really been praying about this. And I'm kind of emotional about this. Because this is a tough spot to be in. And it's hard to offer advice.
But...
yeah, because go ahead. Please save me tonight, because I'm really struggling.
Wow, she's melting down.
I want to melt down.
This is basically blame shifting.
It really
is. Which is, what, like the second sin in the Bible? Adam? Hey, I only, ate this apple because of the... She gave me the apple.
And you gave her to me.
It's not my fault. You gave me her. It's shifting blame.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is when you get down to it. So, it's almost like the second sin ever, which is kind of scary.
And it's never
right.
stopped. It's gone on. And it's probably one of the easiest because we don't want to be at fault for things. It's not our fault. And I think there's an underlying deeper issue there. It's not always you. It's not always you that has the problem, that has the blame, that has the issue, that you're always in the wrong.
It's the person doing everything wrong.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not. But it's also, it may not be 100%, but it may have stemmed from one thing, and then it just has snowballed from one thing into another to another, till now that person doesn't have any other way to communicate but to blame. And it has to come down to their self-esteem.
Yep.
The other person's self-esteem is so low that there's nothing else they can do but to blame, because it can't be in me, even though I think way deep down inside they know something's wrong here, and it's not her, it's not him, it's me, but I don't want to face that. It's too much work. I don't want to deal with it, so I'm just going to blame the other person and just go on with my life, go on with my day, go to work, come back, do this, take the kids, blah blah blah, and just go, and nothing ever gets resolved, because there could be a much more a lot of blessing on the other side of that, but it's scary to get to that point, so they never do. And I don't know if this is something that, honestly, if it gets so bad that you feel you can't walk into the room, you're wearing the wrong shoes, you've hung the bananas on the rack the wrong way, you've stacked the dishes wrong, you've folded the towels wrong. It doesn't matter what it is, it's wrong. And for that person, it drives their self-esteem down as well. So where by the end, by a divorce, you're both two puddles of low self-esteem on the floor. And that's nowhere anybody really wants to be. And I think it comes down to stopping. Someone has to stop the cycle. And it's usually not the person that's blaming until they really get it. And I said to Tim today, I said, the problem is that most people that do the blaming are not the ones that are looking for help. They're not the ones watching our videos. They're not the ones looking up how to fix my marriage.
No, they're not.
They're not. It's the ones that are getting blamed. Everything I do is wrong. What can I do? That are seeking out help. They're looking for help. They're looking for answers.
What blaming really does is it emotionally nullifies your marriage to where you both just don't care about it anymore because you can't do anything right, and the other person, the blamer, is emotionally almost dead inside, to where you just don't care about your marriage anymore. And this is one of the major behaviors, personal behaviors, not couple behaviors, that one person can have that will destroy your marriage. It's not can destroy your marriage. If you continue to blame, it'll just destroy your marriage.
And the problem is that by the time the person that is getting blamed has had enough, the blamer will go, see, I knew you were done. I knew you couldn't handle it.
Right.
This is all your fault. Really? Really? You've kind of driven me to insanity, but it's still my fault.
Right.
And that's a hard place to be, and that takes a lot of actually counseling to get out of if you've lived that for years and years. And I think the point is someone has to stop, and like I said, it's not going to necessarily be the blamer. And give an example of the wife comes home and she spent money. You always spend money that's going out of style. And if you say, hey, let's talk about how I spend money, that might stop the other person and go, because it's not giving them the reaction they want. Tim and I have always talked about doing something opposite, doing something to diffuse the situation. Try a different approach to it.
Questions more than likely always diffuse, because a question needs to be answered. If you ask the question that's rhetorical and you have a snarky tone in your voice, that's not going to diffuse. But a real honest question of, hey, I did spend money. We kind of need to eat. Let's talk about a budget. When's a good time for you?
Would you like to help me figure this? Rather than go, well, you always spend it on junk. Well, help me figure this out. What should we spend our money on? And then it kind of diffuses it, and the blamer doesn't really know what to do.
You fold the towels wrong. Show me how to fold the towels.
Why do you think we should fold the towels this way?
Yeah.
Is there a purpose for folding them a certain way? Do you like it that way? I'll really try. Maybe you could have a little bit of grace if I don't fold the towels in a certain way, because there are more important things in life. But don't say it like that. But I think the point is that if you can use the blame as a start for better communication and kind of as a jumping off point to try to see their perspective, that might be a little more helpful.
And it's when you are seeking to be understood rather than seeking to get out of being blamed. Yeah. So if somebody's blaming me for something, I want to know why they are blaming me for it. And doing it through question and waiting for a response and doing it gracefully and tactfully is a good way to spark a conversation so that you could break the habitual blame cycle.
And a lot of times it really does come down to needing an outside source to point out some things. And this is a really hard thing, especially if you've dealt with years of this, to break on your own. And I would urge you to get some extra outside counseling with someone you both feel comfortable with, because you both have to feel comfortable and you both have to be on board. And like we've said from the beginning, it's something you work on. If you don't work on it, it's going to fall apart. And so it's tough, but we might do a little more research on this because I think it's really important, and I've heard it a lot, and it's a tough place to be.
I think we should do other videos on personal behaviors that will destroy your marriage. And this is one of them. You can't just blame everyone for everything. You have to take some responsibility for your actions.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good. We have a little bit more of an audience back there now.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
And a dog.
All right. We'll see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, yeah. Sex.
Sex.